evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here, we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. Today, we will talk about how Medarisha Lingdo, Chief Operating Officer of E-Samudai, is creating local commerce solutions that would fuel economic growth in non-metro cities and towns. Also, we will talk about the Zero Butterfly Meet happening in Arunachal Pradesh at the picturesque Zero Valley in Lower Subansiri district. The Housing for All program under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban has become a boon to the slum dwellers, economically weaker sections, and families of lower income groups all over the country. Let us go to our correspondent from Aizawl to hear a success story of PMAY urban housing in Mizoram.
The PM Awas Yojana Urban aims to ensure a Pakka house to all eligible urban households by the year 2022, the year when the nation will complete 75 years of its independence. In Mizoram, the Urban Development and Poverty Alleviation Department is working with block administration of different towns in selecting the entitled beneficiaries. The nodal officer of PMAY Urban and joint director of the Urban Development Department, HVL Zarzo Enga, said that a total of 38,668 beneficiaries has been selected for the scheme. Presently, 2,665 houses has been completed and construction is going on for 13,000 houses, which is expected to be completed soon. Mr. Zarzo Enga observed that the Urban Development Department is doing its best to complete construction of these houses by the deadline.
Mizoram is one of the smallest and least remote and populous state in India, but it has always done its utmost where government undertakings are concerned. Despite it being far-fetched from mainland India, the central government is giving its full support for its development, and we are greatly thankful for this. Under PM Awas Yojana Urban, UDPA is the nodal department, and this scheme, introduced in 2015, is now witnessing its fruits. In Mizoram, it is undertaken in 23 census towns with 51 DPR, totaling to 38,668 beneficiaries, where 2,665 beneficiaries have finished this project. We have 4 beneficiaries who received Best House Construction Award, and Longklai district being awarded among the best performing Nagar Panchayats well. We are also trying our best to monitor the rest of the beneficiaries undergoing this scheme, and hopefully by next year we will be able to complete what we started.
For the best implementation and construction of these houses, 4 beneficiaries, namely Thangzaliana from Durtlang of Aizawl, R.K. Lianzola and Rauthanmoi from Kolasip town, P. Lalmatswana from Lunglei town, have received Best House Construction from the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Also, Longklai town in southern Mizoram has been awarded as the best performing Nagar Panchayat in implementation of PM Awas Yojana Urban. For Northeast Diary, this is Irene from Aizawl.
An entrepreneur in Shillong has set up a digital platform that allows local commerce to expand its horizons. Medarisha Lingdo is the co-founder and chief operating officer of E-Samudai, a digital local commerce platform. E-Samudai emerged from a collective vision of creating and building local commerce solutions that would drive inclusive economic growth in India, especially in the non-metro cities and towns.
E-Samudai aims to build local-level entrepreneurship through an e-commerce digital platforms that connect small businesses to their customers. Medarisha Lingdo, a seasoned veteran in building banking softwares, decided and co-founded the digital platform. This platform aims at providing digital tools to local entrepreneurs, producers, and delivery agents for running digital marketplaces in their respective communities. The concept of e-Samuday started in March 2020 amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, allows people to buy, sell and market their products without having to worry about logistics like a physical store and delivery.
e-Samuday happened. It is about reaching out and decentralizing and democratizing digital, which was really good at that point, because when that happened, we were in the middle of COVID. The shift from a sheltered employee to an entrepreneur is very exciting, very frightening. And you need to be in a position where you are ready to take that risk, because it could go anywhere. But you know that it is worth taking, and if it is successful, the impact that I would have as an entrepreneur is nothing, as a sheltered employee, nothing compared to an entrepreneur. And it obviously made it easier for me because I don't really have a family to feed, as such. But it is also about believing in an idea so much that you feel, I have to do it.
The co-founder is looking forward to empowering communities to enable them to set up businesses and become revenue generators. She hopes that her example can act as a push for many women entrepreneurs to follow their dreams. This is Rustam for Northeast Diary from AIR News Shillong.
In Arunachal Pradesh, the Zero Butterfly Meet 2021 held in the first week of October at the picturesque Zero Valley in Lower Subansiri district. A report.
The 4-day annual event of Zero Butterfly Meet 2021 held from October 4 to 8 in the Zero Valley of Lower Subansiri district, organized by the Ngunu Zero, an NGO in association with the Tale Wildlife Division and the Hapoli Forest Division on the occasion of the National Wildlife Week. This is the 8th edition of the Butterfly Meet, which started in 2014. Coach Mama, a member of the organizing committee, has informed that during the 4-day event, activities like butterfly walk, moth watching, butterfly workshops, conservation talks, and others will be held for the participants. He added that though the participants this time will be only local people due to the pandemic, experts from across the countries will participate in the event.
जीरो बटरफ्लाई मीट जो है ये कोविड आने से पहले ये एक नेशनल इवेंट जैसा हुआ था. लोकल स्टूडेंट के लिए, लोकल एनजीओस के लिए हम कर रहे हैं, अवेयरनेस के लिए.
Last year, during the Zero Butterfly Meet 2020, more than 60 species of butterflies were documented. The significant species recorded last year included the extremely rare Tyler's tree brown, the Bhutan tree brown, and the scarce evening brown, which are legally protected under the Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act. The organizers were very positive that this time also they would document a significant number of rare species. For Northeast Diary, this is Rakesh Tole, AIR News, Itanagar.
The central government's bouquet of schemes for farmers' welfare has helped Sikkim's large and varied farm sector take major strides in the recent years. Let's hear more from a Sikkim correspondent.
As a leader in organic farming, Sikkim has realized the benefits of various initiatives taken by the central government to encourage farming. Secretary of Sikkim Agriculture Department Rinjing Chawang Bhutia speaks about the progress of central schemes for the agriculture sector in Sikkim.
Prominent among these schemes is PM Kisan Saman Nidhi Yojana, popularly known as PM Kisan scheme. Under this scheme, a sum of rupees 6,000 per annum is provided to the farmers through direct benefit transfer. The fund is released in 3 installments of rupees 2,000 each. We have covered more than 10,000 farmer beneficiaries, and more than 10 crore rupees have been transferred into the farmer's account through direct benefit transfer. Hopefully, we will be able to enroll all the eligible farmers by the end of this year. Another very important scheme is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. From this year onwards, we have engaged a national insurance company for this particular scheme. So far, we have enrolled more than 2,400 farmer beneficiaries, and the unique aspect of this scheme is that from this year onwards, we are covering damages by wild animals, and this has been started on a pilot basis at South District only. So far, the company has received claims of more than 350 farmers for wildlife damages. Another very important scheme is the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, PMKSY. Under the scheme, clusters are selected and water for irrigation is provided to the farmer's field. This scheme is popularly known as per drop more crop scheme. Under this scheme, the farmer beneficiaries are selected through a very rigorous process. We select clusters and we provide water storage tanks also of huge capacities in order to store water, and from the storage tanks we supply water to the farmer's field. The drip irrigation system is placed at the farmer's field, and sprinkler and drip irrigation particularly. Because of the topography in Sikkim, we have more demand for sprinkler irrigation as it is very useful for plantation crops. In addition to this, the state government has also come up with some very innovative state-specific schemes, particularly incentive schemes to encourage farmers and to double the farmers' income as envisaged by the Honorable Prime Minister. One important scheme is known as Mantri Krishi Atmanirbhar Yojana. Under this scheme, cash incentive, production incentive is provided to the farmers on production and sale of 12 selected crops, fruits and vegetables. For example, if a farmer produces cardamom and sells it through an authorized vendor identified by the state government for proper accounting, he gets an incentive of rupees 100 per kg over and above the price that he gets from the market. Similarly, other crops like ginger, turmeric, vegetables like cauliflower, radish, carrots, fruits like oranges, etc. are covered under this scheme. Similar schemes have been formulated for the dairy sector and piggery sector also.
These initiatives are expected to further boost Sikkim's agriculture sector, which has increased output amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, reducing its import reliance. With Sakat Sarkar, this is Paija Sharma for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Sikkim.
As part of the celebration of 75 years of India's independence, the News Division of All India Radio brings out a number of news-based programs on our freedom fighters. In today's episode, we bring you a story on prominent freedom fighters from Manipur. Captain Janab Naki Ahmed Chaudhary from Imphal played a crucial role for INA on capturing Moirang of Manipur during the Second World War. Let's hear more from our Imphal correspondent J.J. Thokchom.
Among the prominent freedom fighters from Manipur, Janab Naki Ahmed Chaudhary is well regarded as courageous one. He was born in 1914 at Kaikhu Muslim village in Imphal. After matriculation and on the outbreak of World War II, he became a member of British India Army. He was sent to Singapore to oppose the Japanese Army in 1941. After the unconditional surrender of British Army, he enlisted himself in the INA on 16 February 1942 in Singapore. Then he proceeded along with INA force toward India. Captain Janab Naki Ahmed Chaudhary was adjutant of Colonel Shaukat Ali Malik of Intelligent Bahadur Group, who led the Imphal campaign of INA. When INA captured Moirang of Manipur and declared the town first liberated town of India, Captain Janab Naki Ahmed Chaudhary himself planted the tricolor flag at Imphal, which was hoisted by Colonel Shaukat Ali Malik. After the collapse of Japanese along with the INA force in Imphal campaign, he was captured by the British reoccupying force on 16 August 1944 and then taken to the Multan jail. He was categorized as black captive and trial was conducted at Red Fort. Recalling the story told by Captain Janab Naki Ahmed Chaudhary, his son Abdus Subhan Chaudhary said that British force tortured his father during trial, but he never betrayed his motherland and colleagues. He said,
I give me Abdus Subhan Chaudhary. I will pokpiram bahanna Naki Ahmed Chaudhary.
My name is Abdul Subhan Chaudhary and my father is Naki Ahmed Chaudhary. My father told me that he first joined the British Army, then he surrendered to Japanese forces and joined Netaji Subhash Chandra led INA. Afterward, they sought help from the Japanese and fought against British forces from the Chorasanpur side and captured Moirang. While INA and Japanese joint forces came at Moirang, British aircrafts bombed Moirang and my father was injured in the bombing. After INA retreated from Moirang, my father hid in Sandra but was captured by British forces. He was kept at jail for a long time and later released and reached Manipur.
Captain Janab Naki Ahmed Chaudhary was released from the jail in 1946 and was given respect by the Free India. This unsung freedom fighter has kept the legacy of valor for his motherland. On the occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the country salutes all those unsung heroes for their sacrifice. This is JJ Thoksong from Imphal for AIR News, Northeast Diary.
Mushrooms with their nutritional value have emerged as an important food product everywhere in the country. In Tripura, people have gradually started accepting mushrooms on their dining tables. Many progressive farmers have opted for this new cultivation over the years and now earning a handsome monthly income of 15,000 to 20,000 rupees from this profitable product. A report from our Agartala correspondent, Reena.
Vikas Vardhan from Agartala's Jogendra Nagar is among those farmers who have found the mushroom cultivation as a booster to their regular income. He is earning rupees 15,000 to 20,000 every month selling the mushroom he grows. Vardhan learned about the techniques after he underwent a 3-day training program imparted by Horticulture Research Institute, Tripura, located at Nagichara. After the training, he set up his own mushroom growing unit at his residence. Every month, he grows around 20 kgs of mushroom in his unit, Vikas Vardhan said.
पिछले 6 से 7 सालों से मैं ये मशरूम की खेती कर रहा हूँ और अभी हर महीने 15 से 20 हजार रुपए मैं इस खेती से कमा लेता हूँ। 20 से 25 किलो का मशरूम में हर महीने मेरा जो यूनिट है उससे प्रोड्यूस होता है। और मैं ये बोलना चाहूँगा कि त्रिपुरा के जो हॉर्टिकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट है उस डिपार्टमेंट के अंडर ट्रेनिंग के बाद मशरूम कल्टीवेशन एक बहुत ही अच्छा फ्यूचर है। अगर इसे एक साइड इनकम की तरह भी देखे तो बहुत अर्निंग का स्कोप है इसके अंदर। मेरा एक कपड़े का दुकान है, फिर भी मैं ये मशरूम की खेती कर रहा हूँ पिछले 5-7 सालों से और बहुत ही बेनिफिट हो रहा है इससे।
The Horticulture Department of the Tripura government imparts advanced training and distributes mushroom spawns to the progressive farmers so that they can do better in life. Deputy Director of the Horticulture Research Center, Mr. Razib Ghosh said, the department is not only supplying the spawns but also mother culture seeds so that local production can be enhanced. He said the department is contemplating starting mushroom spawn laboratories in all the 8 districts of Tripura when the laboratories have already been set up in 2 districts. For Northeast Diary, this is Reena Nomaitem from Agartala.
Over the past few years, Nagaland has seen a remarkable growth in the jewelry industry, with jewelry brands flourishing across the state and to other parts of the country. A young Naga jewelry designer, Thungchi Bemo Izung, also a class 12 student, has set a new benchmark in the jewelry industry in Nagaland by owning a brand called Pipo. Today, in our Personality of the Week section, we bring you an interview with Thungchi Bemo Izung, and talking to him is our Kohima correspondent, Asuno.
Thung Izung, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, and I am ecstatic to be learning about your testimony and your journey as a jewelry designer.
Thank you so much. It's indeed a great pleasure to be part of this program.
To start off, can the listeners know something about yourself?
People normally call me as Thung Izung, and I'm a student of class 12, and I own this brand called Pipo.
So you are 20 years at such a young age. How did the concept of making jewelry came to your mind?
Ever since my childhood, I had always been passionate about the fashion world, invest towards my passion, so that start off as a hobby, doing something during my school days, and it's now becoming sort of like a profession for me.
So did you take any formal training in jewelry making?
Since 2016, when I started, I had been visually learning. By 2020, I got myself trained from one of India's leading vocational course institute, which is Sindhat Institute of Gemology, popularly known as Singjam Institute of Life Skills from Kolkata branch. So now I'm a certified bench jewelry technician, specialized in silversmithing and diamond stone setting.
I would like to applaud you for that. Now we live in a society where white-collar jobs are considered as the only solution to sustain a secure life. When you decided to take up this venture and come up with your own brand, what was the response from your family or relatives or your friends?
We cannot deny the fact that we find stability and power in collar jobs, but looking into a broader sense, according to me, it's all about our enthusiasm and how we want our security to be. Well, the first year When my parents or family got to learn about my works, they were very reluctant of what I aspire to be, but they now got to understand a little bit much more better than those days, and they find ways to support the interests of my personal choice, and keeping in mind I still pursue my education.
Now I'm just curious to know, how do you juggle between your studies besides the production of making jewelry as well?
There are certain times where we need to study and certain times where we need to work, so that's most of the time I rely on its own time and I go with the flow.
Also tell us something about your Pradhan people.
As I belong to the Lotha Naga community from Nagaland, Pipo is an extract from our local dialect which refers to a collection of accessories. So that's where the whole inspiration of Pipo originated.
So for your brand, where do you source your raw materials to make the jewelry? And also if you can mention what are some of the types of jewelry that you mostly gravitate towards making?
Well, I find myself more into handicraft work, which is like 100% handcrafted itself by me, taking the help of a manufacturing unit based in Kolkata, and materials can be sourced all across India because India is also one of the exporters of raw materials, so India itself is also a self-sustaining country.
Is it difficult for you to actually import stuff from other cities?
It's not really very difficult, but it takes a longer time than we would normally expect things to arrive.
Now let us come back to marketing. So where do you sell your products and what is the response of the buyers so far?
My marketing is mainly focused online, but for offline shops I have one retailer based in Hyderabad and also two retailers in Kohima itself, which is Kapra Kohima and Lady Ro Kohima. With the limited edition that I make, they always look out for new things of what I make and they are very supportive.
Now for any business setup, financial investment is a major challenge. And I just want to ask you, when you decided to start up with your own brand initially, have you approached for any assistance from the government or is it that you have started from your own?
Initially started with a monthly pocket money of mine. In the long run, when I started to get into a real business, my family supported it. But when it comes to hosting events, like as we talk about self-sustenance, marketing, and in alliance programs, we look out for the government to help us out.
Can you also tell us something about this year's event? It's 2021. Which is the second edition of the jewelry exhibition, which is held here at Kohima. And is there any special product that you are focusing on that you would like to highlight?
For the first year, we have only 8 jewelry brands, solid jewelry brands, but for this year, we have 9 jewelry brands and 3 handmade brands, as our focus for this year is the 3 sustainable development goals under the 17 sustainable development goals. The goal number 1 is no to poverty. Goal number 5 is gender equality, and goal number 8 is decent work and economic growth, making it the only event in the state to pursue the SDGs after the state government implemented it recently. So you can look forward to having handicraft works of art and silver jewelries made locally by the local designers and local designer garments and works in the venue.
Now our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been advocating for Skill India or Made in India. So do you think that a small state like Nagaland can achieve what Prime Minister Modi has envisioned for the youth of our country?
I think I should say yes, because we have a lot of potential, just that we need to look out for those opportunities, not wait for the opportunities to come to us. So I think I should say we have a lot of scope and there are a lot of possibilities waiting for us also when it comes to talking about the Prime Minister's advocating skills or say Made in India.
So do you think that our Naga people can take up jewelry making as a full-time profession?
It's part of like a 50-50. It's a yes and it's a no too. I cannot fully agree to that question saying it's a yes, but we can also see that a lot of our Naga jewelry designers are also now solely relying on this income or say this business to sustain themselves. So it's like 50-50 for me. So I cannot totally agree by saying it's yes, and I cannot say no to.
I'm sure that there will be many youngsters who are aspiring to start up their own venture but are not being able to do so due to maybe financial crunches or any other resources as well. So what advice or business strategy would you like to give to them?
I think it's not about how much you have to start, but how passionate you are to make it happen. So I was a student and I'm still a student, and I think that's only takeaway from this. I don't have much to say, but I think I should say I'm a student and I'm still a student. So if I can do it, you can also do it.
Is there any future plans for people to expand
There's not much of a future plans, but as we are taking up, or maybe like we're focusing on the SDGs. SDG goals is till 2030. So in the coming up years, we might follow up other 17 SDGs to inculcate in this event and maybe find innovative ways to promote this.
Now, COVID-19 pandemic has affected everyone, and as an entrepreneur, personally, what were some of the challenges that you have faced during the pandemic?
I think it challenge for us, but finding the right market, obviously, but I think we'll cope up with it.
Any new collection launched during the pandemic?
It was not actually in the midst of the pandemic, but during the month of March, I was able to launch a couple of collections, which is of sterling silver collection and my metalworks collection, yeah.
Thank you for being on our show and also for letting the listeners know about your beautiful journey, and you are such an inspiration and you're such a force to reckon with, and I wish you and your brand a huge success and the very best for the future as well. Now, is there any message that you would like to give to our listeners before we sign off?
Just be passionate enough to make a firm decision and show interest to supporting and helping others grow. Hope the listeners will be inspired and maybe motivated through the little talk that I made. Thank you so much.
Three steps to stay protected and stay safe from COVID-19. Wear face mask, 2 gaz ki duri to maintain social distancing, maintain hand and face hygiene. And now let us endeavor to know more about the special places that are nestled in the cozy corners of India's northeast. Today we will take you to Dhimaji, a city in Assam.
Dhimaji is situated at a distance of 465 kilometers from Dispur, the state capital of Assam. Positioned between the Brahmaputra on the north and the foothills of Arunachal Pradesh on the northeast, the district is endowed with natural flora and fauna. The name Dhimaji is derived from the Deori word Dhimaji, which means great water, indicating it to be a flood-prone region. The district headquarters are located at Dhimaji and commercial headquarters are located at Silapathar, and communication became more convenient with Upper Assam after Bogibeel Bridge became operational. As per the 2011 census, the total population of the district is 6,86,133 lakhs, comprising 3,51,249 lakh males and 3,34,844 lakh females. The density of the population is 176 per square kilometer and the rate of literacy is around 66%. The climate of the district is moderate. On average, the district receives around 3,000 mm of rain, with the northeast monsoon contributing majorly towards it. The river Brahmaputra flows from east to west in the southern part of the district. Different tributaries like Dihinjia, Jiadhal, Moridhal, Teliajan, Kaithongjan, Laipulia Nadi, Khapurdhua, Sisi, Gai, Tangani and Gutong, originating from Arunachal Pradesh in the north, flow southwest carrying an enormous amount of alluvium through the district before merging with the Brahmaputra. Due to its unique geographical location, the district is vulnerable to floods which occur regularly. Nearly 27% of the net crop is flood-prone as well as flood-affected. Agriculture is the main occupation of the people, engaging about 59% of the working population. The soil of the district is mainly alluvial and sandy. Paddy is a major agricultural crop and constitutes around 55% of the gross cropped area. Mustard is a major oilseed crop grown in the district. Potatoes and pulses are other major crops grown in the district. Fruits and vegetables are also cultivated on a moderate scale. Piggery, dairy and goat rearing are the major allied agricultural activities carried out in the district. Apart from agriculture and allied activities, sericulture activity, especially muga, eri and rearing of mulberry, is gaining ground, which has also provided avenues of employment to many families and youth engaged in the aforementioned activities. The few important places of interest in nearby Dhimaji town and around the district are Habung, Gerukhamukh, Poba Reserve Forest, Guguha Dol, Malini Than, Ma Manipuri Than, Rajgar Ali, Rajgar and Garakhia Than and others. This is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with PK Nath from Dibrugarh, Assam.
And with that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye.